I'm Pastor Tabitha. Welcome to Let's Talk About It right here on Flow Radio Network. Listen, I'm excited because today we have Miss Bobbi Sudberry. Yay! Yes, she is the co-founder of Kaity's Way. And I'd like to just say welcome, Miss Bobbi. If it's okay for me to call you Miss Bobbi, we certainly are delighted to have you right here with us on Let's Talk About It today.
That is perfectly fine, Pastor Tabitha. Is that okay if I call you Pastor Tabitha?
That's great. That's great. That's great. Now, listen, I know that you are an accomplished mother, have 5 children. Is that correct? 5 children?
Yes, ma'am.
5 children, your wife, and then executive director of Kaity's Way. Let's talk a little bit about Kaity's Way. What is Kaity's Way?
Well, basically what we do is we promote healthy relationships and bring awareness to the issue of teen dating violence. And basically our mission is to promote healthy relationships in future generations by raising awareness about bullying in youth dating using complementary education. So, okay. We do this through education and outreach. The education piece is basically we do presentations, we provide a couple of monthly workshops to, help people and young people and their parents or, actually anybody that has a teen in their life understand the importance of healthy relationships and helping our teens have healthy relationships.
Okay. So when you say teens and healthy relationships, is this primarily for teens and relationships, or is it open, is it specifically focused for teen relationships?
Well, it's specifically focused on teens and their relationships, but what it does is it really opens up the eyes of parents and adults with regards to the importance of healthy relationships all the way around.
Okay.
So our primary audience is teens, but the adults are right up there with them.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. And now, how long has Kaity's Way been in existence?
We actually became incorporated September of 2008, so we've been around for a little over 8 years now.
Wow, 8 years. And let's talk a little bit about Kaity's Way. Kaity's Way is an organization that you put together specifically to help teens with healthy relationships, but this was inspired from something pretty tragic in your life.
Yes, my husband and I co-founded the organization because our daughter, one of our daughters, we have 3 daughters and 2 sons, and one of our daughters was a victim of teen dating violence.
Wow.
In the worst imaginable way. And, after the fog lifted and everything, I started looking at information and realized just how prevalent this was and how alone we really weren't, but we thought we were, just because of, the challenges we had in dealing with this whole thing. So we decided that we did not want any other parents to have to live every day like we do for the rest of our lives, and help them so that they can, help their young person, their teen identify an abusive relationship, what they can actually do to help them, because there is a fine line there with helping anybody that's in an abusive relationship, much less a teen.
Okay. Okay. So now when we talk teens, typically what's the age of the audience that you deal with?
We're looking at teens that are anywhere from 13 to 24.
Okay.
So I know going past 19 is not a teen anymore, but that's considered the adolescent range, 13 to 24. And your highest at-risk group is 16 to 24.
Okay.
For any kind of dating abuse going on.
Okay. And so now, do you believe that where there are issues with abuse in teen relationships, possibly they have some sense of correlation with abuse from the teen's home or an environment that they have been conditioned in?
Absolutely. Yes, there's a lot of conditioning that goes there. I had a question the other day. A woman asked me because she had come out of an abusive relationship, and she said, I came out of an abusive relationship, and I'm just concerned that personality is, genetic. And I said, while I believe personality is genetic, behavior is not.
Okay.
Behavior is conditioned. And basically, a lot of kids raised in abusive environments, you know, go into relationships with other people thinking that the environment they were raised in is normal, you know. And so then you have another kind of scenario where a child may have been raised in a very healthy environment, like our daughter, Kaity. She was, you know, we have a very blessed and loving family. My husband and I have the utmost respect for each other and really work with each other and everything. And we pretty much modeled that for our kids. Yet she fell victim to a young man that was not raised in a very good environment.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he came out and perpetrated on her, but he didn't perpetrate on her in the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay. He waited until she was emotionally invested to really start showing his true colors. And that's pretty typical for an abuser. I mean, they'll be, you know, sweet and kind and very nice and polite and charming in the very beginning, you know, when they're first getting to know each other. But once they feel comfortable and realize that the, you know, the victim or their partner is emotionally invested, that's when they'll start showing a lot of possessiveness and jealousy and, you know, bad behavior. Because, I mean, if they did the bad behavior on the first date, is there going to be a second date?
Right. Absolutely.
You know? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So they know they have to cap that off. And that's exactly what the young man did in our case. He was actually very polite and decent to me and my husband and held a great conversation with us, you know? So,
and that was my question. My question was, you know, when you have an individual such as your daughter who was raised in a home that absolutely did not model the kind of behavior that she found herself dealing with, how does that happen? And it happens because the perpetrator is perpetrating.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they are very calculating. They know what they need to do. And the other side of it too is that, you know, my daughter was a very loving and sweet person and had a very sweet disposition. And being female, you know, a lot of us females are conditioned to fix. We're conditioned to fix things and help people and, you know, make things right for people. I mean, moms, you know, we're always trying to make it right for everybody in the house and everything. And, you know, that's the conditioning we receive from society. So she was actually trying to fix him.
Wow.
She was trying to show him the love. She was trying to, you know, help him realize, you know, there's better things out there. You don't have to live like that all your life. And, you know, he being so conditioned for such a negative environment, he just, you know, didn't believe it to be true. He was very, very suspectful of, you know, her motives and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how real life is. You know, real life is hard and it's always bad and, you know, all that. So you have those issues as well, you know, that occur in relationships. And, you know, one thing we try to get young people to understand is you can't fix anybody.
Right.
You can only fix yourself.
Right.
You know, we all have to look inside ourselves and fix ourselves.
Wow. So we find that young girls, I know we're speaking girls now, but I want to ask you about your experience with boys who have possibly been victims of, should I say, abuse in abusive relationships, unhealthy relationships at an early age. But here we are with a young girl who is, you know, believes that she can change the individual that she has become emotionally connected to. Is that something for parents? What, you know, how do we know that our daughter, I'm just talking my daughter now. How do I know when she has tried to take on a role that we know she rightfully cannot handle? How do we identify that when we're looking at that kind of situation?
Well, you know, I mean, it's like conversation, communication, you know, having that conversation about dating. You know, it's real important that we have that conversation, and as we model the behavior, that we talk about it. We discuss it. We help them understand why we're behaving this way and what the expectations are, and what our rights and responsibilities in relationships are, and everything like that. But there's some tall tale signs that we can see with our our youth and our teens and everything, that where parents can identify that maybe something's not going right in this relationship. And part of that can be have they noticed a change in their teen's demeanor? Did they go from this happy-go-lucky person to seeming depressed or sad? Do they avoid eye contact now? Are they agitated or anxious or crying often? Have they seen where the person that they're dating, like that person is always trying to be there with their teen? If not physically, utilizing technology like phones. They're texting them all the time or calling them all the time, and it's a constant check-in basis type thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Also, too, if you have a teen and your teen does not have a cell phone, but now they do because the other person that they're dating gave them one, that would be a super red flag for me.
Oh, wow.
Because oftentimes they will, an abuser will give the victim a cell phone to keep track of them. And they know those GPS apps that they can utilize on that phone. They'll download it on the phone without the victim knowing.
Wow.
To make sure that they know where the victim is at all times.
Wow.
So, these are just a couple of things to, kind of, but the one where the other person wants to be with the victim all the time, the reason that kind of seems, it flies under the radar and seems kind of minor is because, that happens in the beginning of any relationship. You do spend a lot of time together, you're talking and everything, but I mean, after a certain amount of time, it really should level off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, an adult will notice that. And see, I noticed it as well with our daughter. I actually was raised in a very abusive environment, and I was a victim of an abusive relationship when my first marriage. Okay. So I was seeing this, and I was talking to her about it, and I kept talking to her, and it took me months. So you have to be very, very patient. You have to make them a part of the solution. You have to talk to them and just keep opening that conversation. There's going to be times they're going to shut it down, but if they have any cousins or siblings that they confide in, maybe you could talk to the cousin or the sibling as a parent and say, hey, can you help me out with this? I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on. So sometimes they'll listen to their peers. So if they're hearing it from different angles, but what you definitely don't want to do is, tell them that they shouldn't feel that way about the person. Tell them that they can't see the person. Because oftentimes with teens, what are they going to do if you tell them they can't do something? Especially when they care about something.
That's right. That's the thing. That's almost like saying, do it. Go ahead and do it.
Exactly. So your best bet is to make sure you're talking to them. Let them know you are there for them no matter what. There is nothing they can say or do that's going to make you look at them any differently than with the true love that you have for them. Right. Encourage and empower them. Let them know no matter what, you are always there for them. Really, like I said, make them a part of the solution. Try to help them understand. Have them attend a workshop of some sort that talks about, a healthy relationships and teen dating violence or any type of healthy relationship. Right.
Healthy relationships. That is the key to living a healthy life. We got to have healthy relationships.
Absolutely.
Listen, as there's another topic that I am absolutely interested in that I know that you deal with, and that's that bullying. I want to talk some about bullying, but we're going to take a quick break. But I want to just talk some about bullying, because I believe that as it relates to abuse and relationships, bullying is absolutely one of the character traits that we don't always know we're dealing with. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Miss Bobbi, and we'll talk more about these healthy relationships and identifying if you have something that you need to be alarmed about. Stay tuned. Great day. I'm Pastor Tabitha, and And I'd love to have an opportunity to connect with you on Wednesdays, 12 noon, right here for your Wednesday Word with me, Pastor Tabitha. You tune in, tell a friend. I believe we'll all get the strength that we need to live life on purpose with power. I love you in Jesus. Looking forward to seeing you right here on Wednesdays, flowradionetwork.com. Tell a friend. Tune in. We'll see you Wednesday.
On the go, you can still get into the flow. Tune in via any mobile device or portable Wi-Fi enabled device. Simply go to your app store and download the free TuneIn app. Type Flow, F-L-O, Radio Network in the search bar and look for the orange Flow Radio logo. Click the heart to place us in your favorites. Now you are all set to listen to the Flow on the go. FlowRadioNetwork.com.
Missed a show? To catch up, subscribe to the FlowRadioNetwork.com podcast via the iTunes Store, Google Play, or via www.flowondemand.com. That's F-L-O ondemand.com. Flow Radio Network podcast.
Hey, we're right back here. I'm excited because we're talking about what makes the world go round. It's love, it's relationships. And if we can't get healthy relationships, we cannot have happy lives. And so I'm really excited that we're here talking with Miss Bobbi Sudberry, who has this organization, Kaity's Way, in honor of her daughter. And it really deals with helping teens to have healthy relationships. But I like when we really understand what your mission is about healthy relationships in future generations. So I think, Miss Kaity, what you're really doing is not just helping people in their lives or helping these teens in their lives right now, but you're saving our lives in the future generations to come.
I love the way you think, and I love hearing it come from somebody else's mouth, because that's exactly what I'm trying to get people to understand is what we do is for our future, for the future of our kids as well as ours. Everybody stands to benefit from young people understanding the importance of healthy relationships. I mean, if you look at things right now, what we've got going on right now with our choices in the political realm, okay, we don't have good choices.
Right.
And, you know, the root cause of that is unhealthy relationships.
Right.
You know, we believe we have a root solution, which is healthy relationships. So we're educating our future leaders, okay, so that we have much better choices in the future, so that we can, you know, look at our young people and thank them for, you know, the good work that they are truly doing by having healthy relationships.
Right. Right. And so you are on this, I'm going to call it a national campaign to change the way we live. Because when we change relationships and how we relate, then that's changing the way we live. And you're starting with the teen generation. Now, it's a little bit scary, but it's more common than we know for there to be violence or abuse in teen dating. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the American Psychological Association did a study in 2013, and they found that 41% of adolescent girls and 37% of adolescent boys report being victims in an abusive relationship.
Wow. That's stunning.
Those are staggering numbers. And, I mean, if you think about it, if 41% of our girls and 37% of our boys had the chicken pox or the measles, what would be going on?
Right.
It would be an epidemic.
Right.
And we'd be doing everything, inoculating, quarantining, everything possible to, you know, knock that out. Yet, you know, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to get people to understand we have a societal epidemic here, and everybody is a solution to the problem. Not just the teens, not just the adults in their lives. We all have the power to help solve this problem, and we can do it.
Wow, I love that. Everybody has the ability to be a part of the solution. So tell me this bullying, because you deal with bullying as well as the youth in youth dating. talk to me. I mean, we know about bullies in school, and we know about bullies in the neighborhood. But when we start thinking about bullying in dating, that's a little bit different. What is that like? Tell me, paint a picture for us as to what bullying in these youth relationships or this youth dating would look like.
Well, basically, teen dating violence is bullying on an intimate level.
Okay.
So you have, while you have the typical basic bullying that goes on, okay, one person exercising power and control over another, okay, but also too, the thing that makes it a little bit deeper is the emotion that's involved, the coercive behavior that continues on a deeper, more intimate level with our young people. You know, a schoolyard bully, you know, they may start bullying somebody from day one, okay? But, you know, in teen dating violence or domestic violence or whatever, the bully doesn't start on day one. They start like sometimes on day 60 or day 90. Once they realize that victim is emotionally invested. So you have an emotional investment here for at least one person. And that's what, you know, that's what makes it just a little bit different. You know, otherwise, the feeling of the two victims, whether they're being bullied by the schoolyard bully or they're being bullied in a dating relationship, the feelings that are in there, the insecurities, the sadness, the depression, the demeaning, the feeling worthless and all of that, that all comes to be in both cases. So the end result is very, very common, very similar. But getting to that end result, you know, the bully being there on the first day or being there on the 60th day is the difference and the intimate level.
So I like what you said, because you said that when we talk about these abuse in relationship, it's bullying on an intimate level. Is that what you said? That is powerful, because that's exactly what it is, on an intimate level. That is incredible. So now, so what can we do? What can we do? Because I know you all are doing workshops and presentations. What do we do? What does a parent do to try to be involved in their child's situation right now? I have my children at home. I want to try and become a part of what I call a movement for healthy relationships. What do I start doing?
Well, first of all, the lines of communication absolutely have to be open between the parent and the teen. Okay, so we have to have conversations about it. And a lot of parents, you know, they feel a little weird about it. The teen feels a little weird about it. But the more you talk about it, the more often you talk about it, the easier it will get. You just have to get over that first hump. So that's really, really important. And, you know, just open the dialogue and have the conversation. Ask them about their friends' relationship. And what do they see going on with those relationships? And, you know, is there any kind of abuse? Help them understand that verbal abuse is just as bad, if not worse than physical abuse, along with the emotional and the psychological abuse. And those three precede any physical abuse usually. So you may have an abusive relationship that there's no physical abuse at all, but there's still abuse nonetheless. So, you know, helping them identify that and helping them understand, you know, what is an abusive relationship. You definitely do not want to ever talk to the victim and the abuser at the same time. Because you're not going to get the cooperation of the victim. And the victim may very well defend the abuser. But I would delicately have that conversation, also work with the teen towards a solution, because the thing about it is the victim knows the abuser better than anyone for the most part. So they know what they're doing, they know where they're going, and this, that, and the other. So you have to work with the victim. The victim has to be involved. Don't take control, and please, please, please stay calm. Stay as calm as very well possible, because if a parent blows up because you're mad at the situation, you're upset at the situation, but the teen will think that you were upset with them. And then they'll also blame themselves in such a way to say, well, you know, if I just didn't get in this relationship, they wouldn't be so upset. You know, just really go, you know, they'll blame themselves. So we want to keep them away from that. We want to reassure them that this is not their fault. Okay? Because victims are never to blame for being in an abusive relationship. they didn't cause that relationship to be abusive. They're not the one abusing. And I'll tell you what, the abuser is doing things and saying things to fear that victim into staying in that relationship. And then oftentimes they'll try to isolate them.
Right.
So there are a lot of things going on there. So it's so important that we be calm and work with the teen and help them understand it is not their fault.
Okay. And so I'm talking to my child. I know that they're in an abusive relationship. I'm being calm. I am past talking with them. Is there any other direct course of action you could advise us to take?
If the teen is on board with ending the relationship and your help to end it and everything like that, at that point in time, work with them to navigate them out of that relationship. Help them break that relationship off.
Okay.
Okay. And once they break that relationship off, if the abuser continues to harass, which oftentimes they will, okay, there's a very, very good chance they will, then what you want to do is you want to start getting the authorities involved. I would strongly suggest that you get a family advocate involved. And I know here in Arizona, we have family advocates in every city as well as every county. Okay. And so I would definitely, a victim assistant person, that's synonymous with a family advocate here. So anybody in an advocacy type field, ask for their help. And I know here in Arizona, it's a free service. Okay. It's something that's provided by the city, state, and county. Okay. Get them involved. They'll be able to help navigate them through the system, possibly get them the proper legal help, such as an order protection or restraining order filed. And, there's that's a whole other show. Right. Talking about that. But that will help get you going. And you also need to, you probably want to understand the laws in your state where you're at as far as teen dating violence goes. Right. And you can actually find that information on our website, on the Kaity's Corner page. And you scroll down to the Kaity's Law area. And even if you don't live in the state of Arizona, you can click on a link and it will take you to a website that will tell you, help you find what your laws are in your state. Okay. And so if I have parents, if I have individuals that are interested in trying to become active or proactive or just involved in bettering the relationships of our world, because it's not just about now, it's about later, then or does your website offer some tips and or assistance for doing such? Oh, absolutely. We actually have a parent adult page. Okay. So they can scroll down and look at all the different options you have. Kaity's Law is mentioned on our Kaity's Corner page. It talks about the law. It's a pretty good law, and if the state does not have a law as effective as it, they might want to consider having their laws amended to match it. Then there's also a teens page where it speaks directly to the teens so they can gauge their relationship and whatnot and realize what a healthy relationship is. We also have an In the Community page for anybody out there that would like to volunteer. Okay. Their time or any kind of resources or anything like that to us. You on every page you're able to get in touch with us, contact us in any way, shape, via email or by phone. Okay. And the In the Community page shows what our volunteers do. We utilize interns. Anything we can do to get this out there. I'm actually doing I do train the trainer where if somebody in another state would like to, roll forward with our program and put it out there to their schools and their teams, I'm happy to come there and, train the trainer or train as many people as they like on how to do it and all of that. That's great. So anything we can do to get out there and help and help others help as well. Well, that sounds great, Miss Bobbi. I'm so excited about the work that you're doing. I am absolutely on board with anything that we can do to help our land, our world be better. And we know that always starts with relationships. Now, that's Kaity's Way. That's Kaitys
WAY.org for information, more information, resources. If you want to become involved in the community, you would just reach out to Miss Kaity, to Miss Kaity, to Miss Bobbi, Miss Bobbi, with Kaity's Way. Then I'm sure that we can keep this thing moving, and we can eliminate bullying publicly and intimately by helping our teens have healthier relationships. Miss Bobbi, I want to tell you, you have absolutely blessed us. Thank you so much for your life's contribution, and we pray better relationships for this whole world.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Tabitha. I really appreciate this opportunity to get this information out, and thank you for all that you do.
Well, thank you. All right, there you have it. Let's talk about it. We'll be talking a little bit later, but in between now and then, let's work on getting our relationships where they need to be. We'll see you next time.
This is FlowRadioNetwork.com.